Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
New at noon, we are tracking Hurricane Ian. It's expected to become a Category 4 storm with its sights set on Florida this week. And the people in Florida are preparing as best they can for something like this. A possible landfall with a hurricane watch issued along the west coast, the Gulf Coast of the state.
Yeah, we'll start in Tampa, where they are stocking up on all of the essentials there. People are filling up their cars and getting plywood to board up their homes. Let's check in with Sam Brock this afternoon. He's in Tampa, where crews are getting the sandbags ready as well.
It's been an active morning in Tampa, one of the 67 counties, or every county in the state of Florida, currently under a state of emergency. Of course, everyone anticipating what's going to happen next with Hurricane Ian, which is at a Category 1 status right now, but is nearly certain to get to major hurricane status 3 or 4 on the Gulf, and the impacts that could have for storm surge and coastal exposure all over Florida. It's a 600-mile stretch, really, from the Panhandle to the peninsula that could conceivably be in play. You look over my shoulder right now, you see all of these folks with shovels. Sand has been the most precious commodity that we've seen over the last 48 hours. Trucks came in early this morning. All of that sand was gone within about an hour. Luckily, there were reinforcements, but the people that I talked to waited online from basically 5 or 5:30 in the morning just to have an opportunity to get this. It's only one small piece of the puzzle right now as localities are preparing. As far as the state is concerned, Governor DeSantis mobilizing some 2,500 National Guardsmen. Electrical workers are on standby right now throughout the state of Florida. Of course, in the knee, they're going to have to restore power in the coming days. And there's a state of local emergency declared here in Hillsborough. I spoke with the mayor of Tampa, Jane Castor. I asked her, what are your primary concerns? It's not necessarily the high wind speeds, certainly that will be, or the heavy amount of rainfall that's expected. It's storm surge. The topography of Tampa, the way it is laid out, it's narrow and shallow, which is to say that if you get a significant storm surge and a wall of water comes in, it's going to have a really difficult time coming out. The last time that Tampa was struck by a major Category 3 or higher hurricane, 1921. That did all kinds of damage with an 11-foot storm surge, which is in the ballpark of what we might see depending upon what happens with Ian in the coming days. Of course, we'll be here to follow it all. That's the latest from Tampa. Let me send it back to you.
Sam Brock reporting there. We know a lot of you at home here in Michigan are closely watching this storm.
Absolutely. Thinking of friends I know right now that live in that area. Many of you have family down there or your own homes. And Brandon is tracking this for us, and it does sound bad.
It does. And, you know, people like Paul Gross, all of his in-laws live on the Gulf side of Florida. The enhanced satellite shows the very latest of this Category 1 storm that will likely hit the Gulf Coast side of Florida as a Category 2 to even a Category 4. So we'll take a look at the latest observations. 80-mile-an-hour winds south of Cuba here and going right in between the Yucatan and Cuba, or the western third of Cuba, as a Category 3 later tonight into tomorrow morning, getting into the warmer waters of the Gulf. Not going to hit parts of Florida and probably until Thursday or Friday. It's going to be very close come Thursday morning to Tampa, but likely making direct landfall. If you know where Gainesville is, it's this little point outside of Gainesville. So that could be late Thursday or early Friday before we get into that official spot. Well, there you go. I tried to get to the local forecast and good old Ian messed it up. We'll fix our computer and send it back to you guys.
All righty, Brendan, thank you. We'll check in with him in just a little bit. In other news this afternoon, family members are giving an update on the victims in the murder and attempted suicide in Chesterfield Township that left WWJ News anchor Jim Matthews dead.
Such a tragedy. There is a GoFundMe page. The sister of one of the victims says a 35-year-old woman and 5-year-old girl are in stable condition while a 10-year-old boy has undergone a successful surgery. That boy is listed in critical condition. Police are saying that on Friday, a man murdered Matthews and attacked 3 others before attempting to take his own life. We are working to learn more about charges for the man responsible for the attack, and we'll have more in later newscasts.
And Arbor police now say that a woman was sexually assaulted by a man who broke into her off-campus home. Police say the man got in through an unlocked door while the victim was sleeping. He got into the victim's bed with her and started touching her inappropriately. Well, the victim screamed and the man took off. This happened in a home on Lawrence, right near Division, on Saturday, just after 1 o'clock in the morning. If you have any information that can help police catch this man, they're asking for you to give them a call. This afternoon, Detroit police are investigating the break-in of another Detroit restaurant.
The most recent happened at Noni's Sherwood Grill. This is right on Livernois near West Outer Drive. Sean Lay joins us now from there live. And Sean, what do we know about these break-ins?
We've been investigating all morning long. I can tell you this place is packed for the breakfast and lunch hour. Noni's here on the Avenue of Fashion. This is a West Side institution here. And we're going to carefully go around the corner. Follow me this way. That was the front door. Way back here in the locked back door here around 3 this morning. That's just a few hours before Noni's was going to get open for the Monday morning rush. Fresh coffee and fresh breakfast. Guys worked for a long time to pry this door open. They were able to get inside, doing some damage, and then take a look at the video here. They did get inside and were able to go through the entire restaurant looking for anything of value. Now, we've been inside trying to break down this video for you, and you can see these guys. We counted 3 prying the door open, then getting inside, then finding some cash and some change inside. The folks working here saying, hey, it's a disappointment because they have this place ready to go for their loyal customers each and every morning. So uncalled for to break in because really not a lot of cash on the premises at all and no safe to speak of to go after. So these guys perhaps not knowing what they were going after, just hoping to get some money. They got a little bit, just basically left more damage behind. Also, we'll show you this too in later newscasts. If you caught that on the floor, one guy left his shoes. Certainly something the police will be looking at. Also, trying to connect these to other restaurant break-ins. We'll be speaking. We'll try to get an update from Detroit police. But right now, we're also talking to people loyal to Noni's, saying they've got a message for those guys breaking in. They're not going to let this place go to anyone trying to bring harm to it. They're definitely going to send a message, leave this place and other small businesses alone through this stretch. Much more coming up at 5 and 5:30. Back to you.
Absolutely. These businesses are so important to the community, so hopefully they'll be able to track down
what
who's
everyone
responsible.
out here is saying. Absolutely.
Yes, and that's
Yes,
a great
ma'am. Sounds
restaurant,
good.
so one to certainly get out and to support. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. New at noon, Canada is dropping the vaccine requirement officially for people crossing the border at the end of this month.
Yeah, the Canadian government has agreed to let an order enforcing COVID vaccinations at the border expire, as you mentioned, at the end of the month. The U.S. has a similar requirement for people coming into the country, and there's no change expected in that policy. Canada is also going to be dropping its mask requirement on trains and planes.
Pfizer is now asking U.S. regulators to expand use of its updated COVID booster to children. Pfizer wants kids age 5 to 11 to get that new Omicron-targeted formula. And elementary school-age children are already authorized to get kid-sized doses, 2 primary shots plus a booster. If given the green light, Pfizer would replace that booster with the Omicron version.
We have an update now to a fiery crash on I96 that we first told you about last night at 11. We're told a 54-year-old man from Redford Township has died after the crash on westbound I96 at Livernois in Detroit. A 67-year-old woman from Redford Township is in extremely critical condition. Police are still investigating the cause of the crash, but we know that only one car was involved.
And you are paying more to fill up your tank again. Gas prices are going right on back up in Michigan, and it's partly because of that deadly refinery fire just to our south in Toledo, Ohio. Prices in Michigan are up 13 cents over the last week, and we're now paying an average of $3.94 a gallon. In Metro Detroit, prices are now over $4 again, and AAA says that the unplanned maintenance work at refineries in the Midwest, along with tight gas supply, is sending prices up.